What's the connection between staging a significant event like this about flexible working and the much wider issue of the general reputation of business in this country?
We know that flexible working really matters to parents, to mums and dads in the workplace, but actually increasingly I think to all employees. They want to be able to work flexibly to balance their work and other outside work commitments. So if employers want to get the best out of their staff, they need to be offering flexible working, and employers who do will reap the rewards of getting the best people to work for them.
Is this about being an employee or seeing how other members of your family are treated as employees, having a big influence on how you feel about business as a whole?
I think it really matters. People will view and look at business depending, I think, in large part of what their personal experience is as an employee. And if they feel that they work somewhere where they're not supported, they're not able to work flexibly, and they're asked to work very long hours, so can't say no, then I think that's going to have an impact on how they look at business overall, and a negative impact. And ultimately, the CBI has launched the Great Business Debate because we want to have a conversation about the contribution of business.
The CBI's figures have shown that most companies are offering flexible working options of one kind and another, but something like 40% of people, both men and women, are afraid to ask their employers about those options. How much of a worry is that situation?
I think it's really interesting. So we've seen a big change over the last few years in companies offering flexible working, but it's still the case that too many employees are afraid to ask, and that might just be because they're worried they're going to be turned down, or they'll be seen somehow as less committed. And I think employers need to make it very clear to their employees, male and female, that flexible working is totally acceptable, and you can be just as committed and just as ambitious, but you still want to work flexibly.
A key theme that's come out of this event today, this discussion, is that the change in culture is vital and that needs to be led from the top. How on earth do you do that in a business?
We had a great discussion here today, and there was a quote that I really liked, which said, when it comes to flexible working, you need to set the tone at the top, it needs to be heard at the bottom, and it needs to not be blocked at the middle. And I think that's absolutely key. And in the end, you're only going to change the culture of the organisation if you get the buy-in of the chair and the chief executive.
And people here said, a number of people said, the CBI needs to be really leading the way on trying to encourage companies to achieve that cultural change. How does the CBI do that, and do you think it's doing enough so far?
I think the CBI has a really important role in just setting out the business case for flexible working, but also perhaps offering some advice to companies on how to deal with the request for flexible working, and what more companies could do to make sure that they are really seen as an employer of choice. Especially if young people coming into the workplace today, they want different things. They want to be able to combine working with travelling, or combine working with having children, and employers are going to have to respond to that.